Class is now in session. I hope you're taking notes. You are freaking amazing. Do you hear me? Hey guys, welcome back. It's Sadiqa Tira. Today we're talking about a very important topic. The title is very self-explanatory: how to boost your self-esteem and gain more confidence. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You know the drill. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. And we're just gonna dive right into it. Okay guys, so I wanna quickly break down the difference between self-esteem and confidence. Now, the two do not exist without the other. You cannot have actual and real confidence without high self-esteem. So high self-esteem is how you feel about yourself, it's your worth, and it's your value. And confidence is a result of high self-esteem. So confidence is that natural thing. It's that je ne sais quoi, you know? It's that aura. It's like, who's that girl? Or who's that boy? Like, who is that? That's what you want. There's false confidence. Sometimes people will put up a false confidence, but we don't want to have false confidence. We want to have real confidence where you're not trying. You just walk into a room, you feel good about yourself, you're excited to be there, you want to interact with people. You're not like feeling insecure about anything. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is self-talk. Now, anything that you're saying in your head that's just kind of like broken record that keeps playing in your head, you need to acknowledge what that thing is and throw it away. Get rid of the thing because it's not serving you. That can be your own self-programming. That can be something that someone told you when you were a kid and you just haven't let it go. As soon as you start thinking negative about yourself or saying, I can't do that or whatever, you know, replace it immediately with something positive. Something that is like the opposite of what you're thinking about yourself. Like literally switch it to the most, even if it's just over the top positive, switch it to something so positive that you're like, okay, that's overkill. But that's what you want, because you need to reprogram yourself so that that becomes the new normal, okay? Because you've normalized that bad self-talk for so long, that's actually beating at your self-esteem. So switch it. Completely flip the switch. It might feel like a lie in the beginning, but that's because you spent it might feel like a lie in the beginning, but that's because you spent so much time saying those same things in your head. I'm not good enough. Why would they choose me? I'm not cut out for this. No, dead that. Nope. Nope, not in 2020. Nope, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Reprogram. It's a process, but it needs to get done. Change the way you feel about yourself. How you feel. How do you feel? Like when you look at yourself in the mirror, sometimes you be like, ooh, I look good. Like, dang. And then other days you're just like, okay, what in the world? Like, what you'll find is sometimes it's not even words that you're saying out loud or words that you're even saying in your head. It's just a feeling. And when you don't tackle or acknowledge that feeling is actually going to spill over into everything else. Change the way you feel, and that will literally shift everything. Like I'm telling you, like a whole 180. How you feel is just as important, if not more so important, than what you say, because your feelings are a vibration. So when you send them out, it comes right back like a boomerang. Oh. Change how you feel. So you're probably thinking, okay, we heard you, we get it. How do you do that? Okay, look, peep this. Think about something about yourself that you really like. It could be your eyes, it could be your smile, your personality, right? Maybe you like your shoulders, I don't know. Maybe you have a really good work ethic, or maybe you give really good advice. Whatever that thing is that you know you just got on lock, right? You just, no matter what anybody says, that's like the one thing that's just not gonna shake you. Think about that like all the time, and just watch how that part of you just becomes even more amazing to you, because it's so true when they say what you focus on you get more of. So if you are looking in the mirror and you see a zit on the side of your face, you're just like, oh my god, what is, oh my god. that zit to you throughout the day is just gonna get bigger and bigger. Like, it's literally not getting bigger, but because you keep worrying about that zit, it literally looks like that's the only thing people see when they look at you, because you're focusing on it. And then when you look at your face, you can't even see your face without the zit. So focus on that one thing that you know you got going on, and that's gonna change how you feel in an instant about yourself. And then once you do that, then you'll actually start finding other things about you that you really like. You're gonna be like, ooh, okay, well, you know, my eyes are cute, but then again, so are my cheekbones. You know, and you start finding things, and it doesn't always have to be physical. It can also be just like more characteristics about yourself. Because there's so many things that we can like about ourselves if we just stop being so hard on ourselves. Cut yourself a break. Oh, I love you. Me, I love I. Like, you be trying. You really just be trying to love on yourself. Just like, I'm almost gonna shed a tear because sometimes I'm just so hard on myself, and I get it. I'm hard on myself, and it's like when you're hard on yourself, you don't appreciate the gifts that God has given you, and you don't even look at all the positive things about yourself. You don't look at what you're doing positively to affect somebody else's life. Like, come on, give yourself some credit. Pay attention to what's good, and when you do that, you will change the way you feel about yourself. That is so important. I hope you heard me, because I hope I didn't do whoop, whoop. I hope you heard me. You know what's funny? You know that thing that you just really don't like about yourself, and then somebody else compliments you on it, and you're like, really? Me? That? Shucks. Or like, you know, it's so funny because sometimes I will like be like in a rush to go somewhere, and I don't have any time to get myself like all the way together. But it's like when I put the least amount of effort in sometimes is when I get the most stares, you know? And it's like, why is everyone looking at me? Like, I'm not being self-conscious about it, but sometimes when you just go out and let your natural beauty shine, like, and you're just doing you, is when you get like the most positive feedback, because who you are already is enough. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. Who you are already is enough. Wow, I'm shook. I'm really preaching to myself right now. Now that I've focused on your inner work, because that's what's most important. What you have going on in here and in here is what's going to affect every other transaction and endeavor in your life. But let's talk about, maybe you are working on yourself, but there's still other factors that are affecting you and causing you to second guess yourself. And that can be other people. You know, I want to know why people are saying the things that they're saying about you. Like, maybe you feel like you're doing your best, like you come to work or you come to your events with a positive attitude, and it just seems like people are just really hating on you and you don't really know why, right? Do not let other comments from other people or behaviors of people shake you or move you or make you feel like you're doing something wrong. Because if you've done your self-check, this is the self-check right here. Like, if you can check off these two boxes, how anybody else responds to you or reacts to you, that's none of your business. Because all you can do is be who you are and make sure that you are not hurting somebody else in the process of that. Like, intentionally. So here's the self-check. If you can confirm that you haven't said anything disrespectful to somebody, you show common decency, and you're just being who you are, because people are always going to have something to say about you, whether they like you or not, right? It's either going to be good feedback or it's just going to be negative feedback, right? If the negative feedback, if you're hearing it from multiple people, maybe you should do some more self-checking. But if you can check those two things off, you're not saying anything disrespectful, you know, and you show common decency, you have manners, like you're just, you know, and you're just being who you are, then there's nothing for you to feel bad about. And none of those comments that they say have anything to do with you, because only you know the real you. And when you know your heart and you know you don't have an intention or an aggression to hurt people, then the rest is not your problem. The rest is just not your problem. Because I used to have that issue. I used to be like, oh my God, like, why is this person, you know, responding to me that way? Or why are they, what did I do? What did I say? And then, you know, I just self-checked. Shout out to all my overthinkers. If you overthink, I promise you, if you self-check, you're good. You're good. Move on, live your life. Nobody has time for that. Nobody has time for that. But when you've done all of that and people are still finding something to comment about, they are projecting. That is called projection. They are showing you what is internally unaddressed within themselves. And I wish like we really understood that, is that what people spew out, it's hardly ever personal. Like hardly ever personal. So you need to understand that anytime someone's showing like spewing out or just kind of nasty or kind of just like make these little snide comments, and you're like, why are they always, you know, maybe you learn somebody doesn't like you. So I self-check, so I'm good. I don't care. Like, it don't matter. They're projecting their own insecurities onto you, and that has nothing to do with you. That shouldn't shake your confidence at all. And it shouldn't be a stab at your self-esteem either. Because what you got going on, you got to fix yourself. Because what I got going on, I got to fix myself. We all have a duty to do the self-work. And if everybody's not taking responsibility for their own selves, then you're going to run across people who are always going to have a problem with you. Because they're not doing the self-work. They're not doing what's required, you know, to be okay within themselves. Tragic. Wish them well and keep your distance. Which brings me to my next point. Another way to build your self-esteem is to place yourself next to people who are doing the inner work and who want to see you do well, who want to see you thrive. Who you surround yourself with is going to have a lot to do with how you feel and how you treat others. Your circle is so important. So if you're around people who are constantly beating on themselves, run for the hills, because that's not serving you at all. And if you're around people who are always talking about other people, you're around a bunch of insecure people. And if you're one of those people, then it's time to do some self-work. Decide who you want to be. Get rid of the old you if it wasn't serving you. Another thing to build your self-esteem, get yourself together. Like, don't be walking out the house looking crazy now. Like, you have to put some effort into the way you look. And that, when you look good, most of the time you feel good. All right, guys, that's it. I hope this video was helpful. I hope that this is a new step to becoming a better you and building your self-esteem and deciding that you have all the control in your life. You decide what kind of life you're going to live. You decide what kind of interactions you're going to have and the type of quality of life you'll live. And you'll decide the quality of life that you're going to have all by what's going on inside. All right, and then once that's all good and once you've addressed that and you start seeing more improvements, that confidence is going to come naturally, I'm telling you. But you got to do the self-work. You got to do the self-work. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, comment if you like this content, and let me know what else you guys want to see. It's your girl Sadika Tira signing out, but I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.